guys, for the next we're gonna talk about knee disarticulation prosthesis. Did you know what the difference of the KD amputation with the TF amputation? For the first, there have the level of amputation, which is for the KD is more longer than the TF. And for the KD, the attachment of the patella bone is still intact, but for the TF is already cut. And for the location of the weight bearing, for the KD is the distal end of the stump, and for the location of the F in the IT.
For the next is indication of knee disarticulation amputation. The first is trauma.
Did you know about 70% of people around the world will experience at least one traumatic event in their lifetime? Trauma is a threatening event or series of events that is emotionally or physically harmful, which may include violence, abuse, neglect, natural disasters, or losing a loved one due to a traumatic event.
Infection.
Time is devolved into what we're seeing here, which is a central eschar of necrosis.
Congenital deformity, tumor, revision due to too short TT stump, and knee dysfunction. The next is advantages and bearing to get better control at proprioception. Good rotation control by the angular shape and supracondylar, self-suspension socket, long lever arm, and surgical trauma, and children who has KD amputation plus additional advantages. First, bony shape usually easy to achieve with suspension, but the problem is chronic and quick. The second, KD amputation is low risk of infection, and patient recover only from surgery.
Okay, the next is socket for knee disarticulation. There are three types. The first is push fit. For the push fit, the weight bearing is end bearing. Next type is panel opening. The weight bearing is end bearing. And the last type is modified quadrilateral. For the weight bearing is in non-end bearing. So the next is for the suspension. There are two types. The first is anatomical. The suspension is supracondylar, and the next type is external suspension. There are three types. The first is recondylar, second lacing, and the third is bladder.
guys, for the next we have small quiz based on the theory that we already given.
Okay, now please pay attention to the case study. For the case study is 22 years old male medical students live with parents in Bandung City, amputation due to carcinoma in India at age 16, stump is fully embedding, good skin cover and no problems with sensation, ROM and muscle strength are full, upper limbs are good, small adductoral present, previous device made in UK, has pneumatic polycentric knee, but it no longer function, and the foot is multi-assist foot. Likes to go out to nightclubs with friends.
So, you guys already read the case, right? So, for the first, can you guess what is type of the socket based on the case? You have 5 seconds for answer it. This is for your answer. Pretty easy, right? You guys answer correctly. For the next is you can guess the type of suspension. You have 5 seconds. And ta-da! This is the answer. And do you get the right answer?
Next, can you guess type of the shank based on the case? You have 5 seconds to answer. Okay, did you get correct answer?
Next, you can guess the material of socket based on the case. You have 5 seconds for answering. Did you get the correct answer?
Okay guys, for the next question is what is type of knee joint based on the case? You have 5 seconds for the answer the question. Ta-da! For the answer is hydraulic knee joint. Have you guys have the correct answer?
To use mode selector switch on the back of the device that allows the user to quickly switch between normal resistance, locked, and free swing modes. Since the capital can enter into locked mode in any piece, adjustments for the capital are quick and simple using a 4mm hex wrench. The capital is also freshwater friendly and is available in 4 stylish colors with 2 distal options. To access the hydraulic adjustments of the capital knee, you must first remove the adjustment cover. There are 3 adjustments that control the hydraulic characteristics of the capital in stance and swing. S is for stance resistance. This adjusts the hydraulic resistance to flexion and stance phase of gait. This can be changed to optimize stance flexion, stand to sit resistance, and stair or ramp to set functions. F is for flexion resistance. This adjusts the hydraulic resistance to flexion and swing phase of gait. This is most effective to optimize heel rise and swing. E is for extension resistance. This adjusts the hydraulic resistance to extension and swing phase to optimize terminal swing characteristics. The trigger point resistance adjustment is not a hydraulic adjustment, but rather controls how easily the capital triggers into the low resistance flexion mode at terminal stance. Turning the screw counterclockwise makes the knee easier to trigger, while turning it clockwise requires a more deliberate movement to trigger into swing. The mode selector switch is unique to the capital knee. This switch allows the user to easily toggle between 3 different mode functions. Normal mode allows the user to ambulate with the hydraulic settings of the knee in full effect. It is important to note that switching to either the locked or free swing modes on the capital require only the movement of the toggle switch. There is no requirement for positioning of the cylinder in either a flexed or extended position, or loading of the knee unit to change the function. Toggling to the left causes the capital to enter into a very high hydraulic resistance or locked mode. This high resistance is to flexion only. The capital can enter into locked mode while in flexion, such as in the seated position, and the knee will freely extend until full extension is reached. If at any point the extension movement is stopped, the capital will provide high flexion resistance for support. Toggling the mode selector switch to the right bypasses the hydraulic resistance in the knee and enters into free swing mode with low resistance to flexion and extension. This can be used for cycling and other activities where low resistance is desired. It is important to note that extreme care should be taken when ambulating in free swing mode, as the knee will not provide resistance to flexion, and this could cause instability in gait due to unexpected flexion of the knee. Before completing the dynamic alignment of the capital, restore all of the adjustments to the factory setting, as this will be the best starting point for our dynamic fitting. The F should be at minimal setting, turned all the way counterclockwise. The S should be at maximum resistance, turned fully clockwise. The factory setting for extension resistance E is minimum, or fully counterclockwise. And lastly, the stance trigger resistance T should be at its most sensitive, turned fully counterclockwise. Before having the patient ambulate to evaluate dynamic alignment of the prosthesis, ensure that the mode selector switch is in the normal position. This is done by depressing the spring-loaded mechanism in the mode selector switch and placing in the middle of the range of travel.
Okay, now is the last question for this quiz. Can you guess what type of food based on the case? You have 5 seconds for answer the question. Ta-da! The answer is energy storage food. Is your answer is correct?